Hi, I'm Becky Burstein, Senior Associate at Bright Morning. If you have ever found yourself coaching someone and trying strategy after strategy, only to watch that person in front of you continue the same patterns that's undermining their success and maybe even burning out in the process, you are not alone. The truth is that most coaching models, especially instructional coaching models, really focus on the technical and the behavior. But change happens at a much deeper level, which is why we are talking about transformational coaching conversations today. So that way we can think about beyond surface level change and really think about what deeper, sustainable impact looks like. So, most coaching models prioritize more quick fixes. Here's the new strategy, here's this technique, follow this script. And while those tools might be helpful in isolation, they're not going to have the impact that we really want because we're not really seeing the depth and an appreciation for how complicated the problem can be. And so when we see people reach for this type of coaching, we see a couple of different pitfalls they fall into. They really fixate on the fixing. That's jumping straight to the solution, trying a game of have you tried this? Have you tried this? Without really exploring how we got here in the first place and really exploring beliefs. Pitfall number two is the data only or the fact only trap. Here's a lot of information without really appreciating the human or the emotional context that that information lives in. Pitfall number three is one of the most common ones that we see in our workshops, which is the default directive. We see a problem and we just default to telling this person what they should do differently or telling them how they should move forward. These patterns end up leaving us more reactive, the impact being really surface level, and ultimately we are less effective than we could be. So, what does it mean to coach transformationally? At Bright Morning, we define coaching that really centers our three B's: our behaviors, our beliefs, our ways of being. Our behaviors are what we want to do, and in a coaching context, what we want to do differently. Our beliefs are the stories that we tell ourselves or what we think got us here in the first place. And we excavate and expand those beliefs depending on how helpful or harmful they might be. And then we also coach ways of being. This is how a person shows up. And so when we think about three moves that you can make in a transformational coaching conversation, one is exploring beliefs before behaviors. Before reaching for the strategy or the have you tried this, you can ask someone, hey, what do you believe is making the situation challenging? And then practice active listening and follow up from there. We can also make room for emotions with purpose. When someone is feeling an emotion, that's their experience. Validate their emotions. That builds emotional resilience. In other sessions, we talk about the difference between emotions and emotional narratives, but effectively navigating emotions with purpose is key. Transformational coaching move number three: build client capacity strategically. Sometimes our teachers might need a little bit of direct support, but more often than not, they need space to reflect, to access their own brilliance. And so we as coaches need to build the skills to take different coaching stances to really guide and facilitate that. These moves aren't necessarily about adding more to your plate. Sometimes it's about clearing the pitfalls off your plate and really intentionally using these to build long term capacity in your clients and yourself. So, here are a couple of things we want you to know about transformational coaching. One, transformational coaching helps your clients thrive, not just survive or comply. Two, it addresses burnout by really reconnecting people with their purpose and who they want to be, feeling empowered versus disempowered. And three, when we think about transformational coaching, it really models the microcosm of what we hope to see in people's classrooms and their communities. People feeling empowered, heard, and supported. That's ultimately what we want our teachers to be doing with our students as well. If you are ready to put these ideas into practice, but you also are recognizing that having a robust toolkit and supports would be helpful for you, I would recommend exploring our beginning of the year coaches bundle. This is a comprehensive beginning of year package, although if you're looking for a reset at any point in time of the year, there are lots of great resources here. And this includes direct instruction from Elena via video. It also includes examples of coaching scenarios and scripts that you can modify and incorporate into your practice. And then there's lots of tactical tools to help you plan out your schedules, plan out your coaching conversations so that way you can be effective. Check out the link below. If you want more support because you recognize that in your role you're pouring into others, but you also deserve space to learn and have others pour into you, I would recommend checking out our Coach Learning Library, which includes a Coach Professional Learning Community, or PLC, where you get to role play, ask for help, and get feedback on things that are most important to you, or become a Transformational Coach member. You get access to all of our workshops and all of our resources to go all in on your learning. We hope to see you in all of the places that you see here on the screen, and I hope you have a great day. Think about how you can make every conversation count with some of the tools that we offered you today.